Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, wcguerkiejejkhkvukefhiuvgyjgukerihu. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my Akim and Aquath out there who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. And today's topic is going to be more so displaying, kind of like showing what type of spirit I was in before and after, and possibly, maybe helping someone, whoever watches this, come to understand maybe a spirit that they were in, or they were in / are currently in, or a change in in your attitude or whatever. Okay, because what I'm gonna basically be going into is my past and present favorite characters of fiction. All right. Now, these first 4 that you see on the screen right now. These were my favorite before I was in the truth. Okay, so like when I was a child, teen. During this time, what was going through my mind, or what these characters kind of represent to me. Okay, were how like Goku and Sonic, Naruto, kind of Cloud, were all beloved by the people surrounding them. Okay, and it's basic, and it was something that I wanted to be, because obviously, being a so-called black kid back then, everyone hated. Well, obviously Jake knew that Jake knows that Esau hates us, but that's the thing, and that's one of the biggest things that it didn't apply to me, but one of the biggest things that could be for other Jakes. Okay, Naruto was absolutely hated and despised by basically the world, but primarily his village, and he wanted to do good, be Hokage, and be recognized and be beloved by the people that hated him. Okay, so obviously with that type of story, that's a very realistic scenario for a so-called Jake of today, or a so-called Jake from more so back, but the time that I was a child / a lot many years before that. Okay, because it was only, if we want to really be honest, if I want to really be honest, like there was not a lot of so-called black role models / black heroes, okay, to look up to when I was a kid. There was like Blade, but that wasn't even for kids, okay. And then there was I think that's it. Like, to my knowledge, that is literally it. There was no black, so-called black heroes and whatnot. Okay, so now we have fucking T'Challa, Black Panther, I don't know. Okay, but basically now, in the 2010s and afterwards, then now we have all these black heroes I cannot list or name, and they're putting more so-called black representation. But back then, when I was still a child, before the 2010s, there wasn't. Okay, it was like, this is all you have: the story, the upbringing that you hear that these characters go through, and then that's what you have to relate to. Okay, so some being left out or not fitting in. Okay, that's what you have. And yeah, Goku is kind of like that as well, but he didn't really have much of a problem getting along with people. Not saying that there are also Jakes that did not have a problem really getting along with some people. It's different for everyone. Okay, but yeah, the main thing is these 4 characters, which I did have a great admiration for them when I was a child, and I wanted to be like them. But um the thing about them is that they're beloved by the world. Okay, so now if we look at this, 1 John chapter 2 verse 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So the thing is the fact that these characters love the world, okay, and it's the fact that it's the translation from them loving the world and a so-called black child or a Judite or any Israelite child seeing them and saying like, oh, I want to be like them as I was, keyword was. That's how they get the love of the world. And as it says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So back then, yeah, honestly, even though yes, I still believed in the Most High. Well, not, I believed in God, okay, but it was the whole white Jesus things, okay. So I was still, it's a misplaced trust, a misplaced love, okay. Now obviously, coming into this truth, we learn more and we see, the Most High does not love the world. Now I see, now that I'm in this truth, now I see that this, resonates a lot more, even though I never got a chance to see, read, or hear this back then. All right. But moving on to another precept, John 15:19. If ye were of the world, the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Okay, so the world hates those, that are different. The world hates those that are not a part of the movement, quote unquote. Okay, the movement of being carnal and being worldly. All right. Now, we see these, these four characters, how they are beloved of the world. Okay. Now I want to get to these characters. My current favorite. First, I want to Slakia, by the way, I only wrote this down underneath him because this is my third time making this video, and yeah, I just did not want to forget. So one of my current favorite characters, I'm gonna be continuing to write them down. Okay, but my first current favorite character, okay, is Shippuden Sasuke. Now the thing is, there are technically three different Sasukes, but it's more so time based. There's the first Sasuke. He's a part. Oh, he's with the world. Quote unquote with the world. There's this one, Shippuden Mid. He had his own. He wanted to fix the world, and then there's current Sasuke, which is back into the world again. So now the thing is, for this character, for this Sasuke, Shippuden Sasuke, and only Shippuden Sasuke, what happened was he found out that his people were being oppressed. So because of that, his people were being oppressed by the same people that oppressed, funnily enough, this Naruto, the same one that got oppressed by people for being an individual. Okay, and then what Shippuden Sasuke was trying to do, he wanted to go and kill all the people that treated his people like garbage, treated his family like garbage, and basically were to cut it short, basically devils. Okay, now the thing is, the two people that were in the midst of this oppression at the time, that actually mattered at the time, were the third Hokage, Hiruzen, and Danzo. Now, Danzo basically represents the Republicans, and Hiruzen represents the Democrats. Danzo is more conservative, and Hiruzen is liberal. Okay, that's basically the best comparison. Now, in that comparison, Hiruzen wants to live peacefully, quote unquote, and hard, quote unquote. I will explain later. And while Danzo, he is keep their necks under your feet, treat them like trash, murder them, do this, blah, blah, blah. If they don't want to listen, kill them and stuff like that. That's basically what he is. Now, the thing is about that is that is much like the current Republicans and Democrats / conservatives and liberals today. Donzo being the whole open racist, and Hiruzen being the so-called, oh, I'm a good white person. I want to get along with everyone. I don't care about what race you have. I have black friends, like that type of stuff. Okay, that's basically what these two guys represent, and basically furthering this point and this parallel is the fact that Donzo went and had all the Sasuke's people, the Uchiha, killed, and Hiruzen, if he truly wanted peace, if he truly wanted to get along with everyone, he let him do that, and he didn't do anything about it. He literally just stood there, let it happen, and then after it was done, he just didn't do anything about it. He didn't give him any repercussions or anything. It was just like, okay, well, oh well, I guess. Basically, that was it. Okay, so he is an example of someone that says that they want peace but doesn't really do jack shit about it. Okay, now that's further shows how why would and people do say, people outside of people that watch the media, they say that Sasuke was wrong for what he did. But if Sasuke if he didn't want to go and destroy the Leaf Village, then in all honesty, he would have either died. He would have died, or would have gotten his eyes stolen from him. He would have just gotten fucked up in some way, shape, or form. Okay, like he made the right decision in doing that. And if he did not do that, he would have been the one that would have suffered. Okay, these people are literal devils. They always want to say that the person that starts stuff is not at fault. They want to turn a blind eye to the person that starts stuff, but then the people that actually retaliate, which usually are Israelites, okay, then they're in the wrong because they retaliated. They were in the wrong, and literally it's because you're not supposed to retaliate like that. Okay, that's been a key factor in my life. Every time someone starts stuff with me and I retaliate, okay, I'm always the one that people talk to and say that I'm wrong. I'm always the one that gets in trouble in literally anything and everything I do. Okay, because even though I didn't start it, I just retaliated. I learned to, or I was taught, if you don't want someone to bully you, if you don't want someone to pick on you or anything like that, then you have to make them know that you are not someone to bully. You're not a weak target. So that's, what's been in my mind is, if someone bothers me, I hit back. If someone hits me, okay, I hit back so hard that I instill the fear in them to never want to mess with me again. And for some reason that does not work, because these people that bother me still want to bother me. Okay, and again, like there's nothing really else. There's nothing much to say besides the fact that even though I do that, or even though anyone does that, people still want to come back and bother me, okay, or bother Israel in general, because that's what Israel does. When they are messed with, then people just want to. When someone messes with an Israelite and the Israelite fights back or retaliates, then it's the Israelite's fault because he retaliated. But no one wants to stop the cause, the initial cause, okay, that caused the effect. Okay, but it's the Israelites' fault, as always, right? Anyway, the next thing I want to get into, I will continue to fill in the list of my current favorite characters, but there are these two characters, that I have great respect for. I definitely want to make mention, okay? Because I'm basically there it would be a crime for me to not mention these two, okay? Because I do highly respect them. I do like them, but I wouldn't say that they're my favorites, okay? But basically basically what I'm gonna explain Eisen's, but it basically, I guess you can kind of just assume that a lot of the things I say for Eisen goes in for Sephiroth. So now for Eisen, context. There is the government, I guess, of his fiction. They're a bunch of corrupt people. They do all these, evil things or whatnot. And ironically, even though Eisen was the main antagonist for a good while, it was revealed at his defeat that he had a reason for doing it, and I will show you this clip. Okay, so now the thing is, initially he was saying, where is it? He was going on about Slakia. He was going on about how so we know that Eisen over here, he's basically a problem, okay? And by a problem I mean like he's like very strong, he's very dangerous. Like most people don't want to mess with him. They would not want to fight him. Okay? And Eisen also, at being as dangerous as he is, he also recognizes him as also intellectual and dangerous, okay? Now, the thing is, the problem is he's trying to say, or Eisen's trying to say that the world is messed up currently. The government, as I mentioned before, I believe I mentioned before, is corrupt, it's messed up. There's a bunch of stuff that's messed up, and Eisen wanted to take it upon himself to correct everything, okay? Now, the thing is, because perfect precept. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Okay, the thing is, he sees that things are wrong, and it obviously infuriates him. Okay, and the fact that Urahara, this guy, is fighting to allow the corruption to continue, allowing the whole, just the things to continue to be wrong. Like that's where his anger, that's where Eisen's anger comes from. Okay, because he sees and he knows that things are wrong, but he just sits there and allows things to happen. As a matter of fact, he's stopping him from doing it, even though Urahara, out of everyone, knows more about why Eisen is doing what he's doing, whereas everyone else, they don't fully know, they don't truly know. And I believe this is actually the first and only the first time that they actually really showed and gave the motivation of why Eisen did it, even though they initially presented him as just evil for no reason, but they didn't show his reasoning. So the thing is, the parallel to that is the fact that Urahara once again represents those that love the world, while Eisen represents, someone who hates the world and doesn't approve of how the things are. Okay, let me see. Let me get this ready at least. Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, so the earth is given. Slakia. Yes, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The Edomites rule the real world. And also in here, in this case, it's not, it's the, I wouldn't say it's the Soul King, because if you go in more, which I don't want to do it right now, it's just already too much. But the current government in this fiction is, it's very corrupt, and they're evil. Honestly, they're evil. Even though he's fighting for them, he's on their side. Just as Ichigo is fighting on their side. Unbeknownst to what they are truly planning / what they're truly like. Okay, and then now moving on to what Aizen was saying over here.
That, my friend, is how the world works.
That's an argument only a loser would make.
So the thing that he's mad about is the fact that Kisuke said, the main thing. Okay, let's focus. Let's be focused on a few things. The main thing is the fact that Kisuke is allowing things to continue to be as they are, even though Kisuke himself is a victim of said corruption. Okay, he was wrongly accused and wrongly exiled for something that he didn't even do. And as a matter of fact, Aizen is the one that is responsible for his exile. But when it happened, Kisuke was the one that got exiled, while Aizen was freaking promoted to the position that he was in. And yet, with that in mind, Urahara still sides with them, the people that exiled him, while Aizen, is against them. Even though he used the system to his favor, and he got what he wanted. Okay, now the parallel to that is how people see how things, and also this also goes into the anime Code Geass, which I believe I did do a video on it before, but it's how the current government is corrupt. There's no debating that. Like, everyone should know that. Okay, the current government is corrupt. You have Israelites literally getting gunned down. You have the justice system incarcerating Israelites, not even just so-called blacks, but all Israelites. Okay, like they said. Let me get that. Prison population. This was literally just the craziest thing when I first saw it. Okay. Where is it? Highest. Okay, there, right here. Out of all ethnic groups, African Americans, Puerto Rican Americans, and Native Americans have some of the highest rates of incarceration. It literally says it right there. And if you don't think that the so-called Native Americans and the Hispanics are also Israelites as well, you are bugged out, because look at this. How in the hell? And one of the things is, you need to remember that they use prison as a form of free labor for basically slavery. All right, so that's why they always want to get you Israelites, you Jakes, locked up. All right, so now obviously we see the corruption in that. Okay, so what Aizen is basically saying, if there was an Aizen in real life, is the fact that this is corrupt. I'm gonna go and do what I can. I'm going to use my power, okay, with how great I am to go in and fix it. And he's basically that I don't know what's a easy comparison, but like I guess he's the Frieza, he's the Cell, he's the Doomsday, he's the Lex Luthor or whatever of, you know, trying to, you know, go against the main thing that's the main system that's already in place, but he's doing it in a I don't want to say arrogant, but he's doing it in a self. I'm gonna take it up. I'm taking the mantle of doing it myself, okay, and that's something that it made me respect him, because when I first saw this, I didn't really understand what was going on. As a matter of fact, I think a better thing to say, a better explanation was the fact that all this that happened flew over my head, okay? Because I was just so focused on, oh, Aizen is wrong, blah blah blah. Ichigo and Urahawa are right. But if you really look, if you take a step back and look and listen and look at what's going on, like Aizen has a point, okay? And yes, maybe his method was a little wrong. He did use and kill a couple of people that kind of seemed undeserving, like Tozen, but at the end of the day, it wasn't really wrong. He wasn't wrong. So yeah, with that, I want to say that I have great respect for Aizen in what he did. Okay, but the thing is, the problem, and no, I'm gonna get, before I get to that, I'm gonna get into. Well, no, I'll put it in. I'll put in this precept. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 22. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Most High, and He shall save thee. Okay, so it's the matter that he wanted to take matters into his own hands and want to go and change the world on his own. Okay, and that's where the problem comes when you're dealing with real life and what we should and shouldn't be doing. All right. We can't think that, oh, we're gonna go take up arms and we're gonna go, you know, deliver us from Esau. Okay, that's absolutely wrong. We're not supposed to do that, and that's where you got a lot of jakes that go buy guns and whatever, and choose to have trust in the sword rather than trust in the Lord. All right. Now, quickly, I want to list some more of my favorite characters. Some more of my favorite characters, and I'll explain the trend of I'm gonna explain the trend to them. Okay, so firstly, we have Hawa Sakura. Okay, now with how Asakura, he is similar. He's similar to Aizen in the sense that he wanted to change the world, because when he was a kid, his mother got killed by some, you know, ignorant people. Okay, like his mother didn't want to do any harm to anyone, but they just said, "Oh, burn the witch and whatnot." So then they killed her, and then all throughout the Shaman King, which Hao is from, how he was basically, you know, what Aizen was. He was basically someone that nobody wanted to fight / nobody could stand up to, but Hao is taken a step further in the fact that literally there was nobody on earth living that could have stopped him. He was literally the strongest person in the whole show, and literally there was no one that was able to stop him. Like, he was literally that nigga. He was literally that nigga that was unfuckwittable. Okay, so at the end, spoilers, at the end, you know, he technically got what he wanted, and he basically murked the entire earth. But you know, there's some I want to say, honestly, what I want to say it was some BS plot just to make the main character right or whatever, that at the end of the day made him just change his mind and say, okay, well, I'll give you guys a chance to, you know, make the world a better place instead of letting me do what I wanted to do. So because of that, yeah, after he killed everyone, he literally revived the whole population of the earth, and then he's letting everything play out. He's watching to see, is my brother or Yo Asakura the one who convinced me to revive everyone? Is he gonna prove me wrong and say and show that he can fix the world, or am I going to murk these people once again after he fails? Okay, so then basically now you know, that is the current situation that's happening. He got what he wanted, but he dialed it back. He's just stopped. Like, okay, you know what? You're right. I'll wait. No, not really. He didn't say you're right. He said, okay, I'll give you a chance to prove me wrong. But if you're wrong, then I'm gonna go do what I want, because I'm basically when you're the Shaman King in that fiction, you're basically God for, I believe it was 500 years until the next Shaman King. Well, actually, there's not gonna be another Shaman King if he, you know, destroys the world, which he has time. It's like he has like within 100 years he's gonna either destroy the world or leave it to go. So that's basically what happened. Like, it's looking at what he is doing or how the world is. He's just sitting there and Slucky. He's just sitting there and waiting to see. Okay, and that's another thing that I want to go into. Having the power to do what you want, having the power to, you know, exact your vengeance, but having the discipline, having the patience to wait it out. Okay, but while we don't have the power to deliver ourselves, okay, but honestly, well, no, we don't. If we don't have the power to deliver ourselves, but if say that the Most High made us like freaking a bunch of Mike Tysons, but what's the word, but with guns or whatever, or with military warfare, then we still, even if we had that, we still have to wait for the prophecy to be fulfilled. We have to wait for YAHAWASHI to come and deliver us. Okay, it's not a matter of perfect example. Spiritual powers. If the Lord blesses us with spiritual power to just be planetary destroy or selectively destroy, like how let me actually get that. Super Boo kills all humans. Okay, look at this. Look at this. If the Most High Yahweh just blessed us, anyone Israelite that's in this truth with spiritual power, and they just did this, that would be, just look at this. Slakia, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so basically, yeah, you get the picture. He selectively can sense the location of every single person on the earth and just shoot out from his hands from the one spot that he's in and homing attack what's it called? Fatally kill every single body from that one spot. He doesn't even need to leave and to go find them individually. Just imagine if the Lord just blessed anyone with spiritual power and they can do that. That's basically deliverance, okay? But again, going back into how Asakura, he was basically like that, okay? He was able to kill everyone on the earth with no difficulty, but he didn't. He chose not to. He what's it called? Well, he did do it. He succeeded. He successfully did it, and then he revived them all. Okay, which that's also very crazy amount of power. But just imagine if you have the power to do so, you also have the patience and discipline to not do it. Yes, we as we read in Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 7, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Yes, we're mad being wise men, being the being men of the Lord at the oppression, but we have to understand that prophecy has to come to pass, and it's not up to us to deliver ourselves. It's up to YAHAWASHI to deliver us. All right. Now, just a quick rundown on the rest of them. Madara Uchiha, basically the same thing. Basically the same thing as Aizen. Okay, but yeah, he failed. He failed. He didn't succeed. Everyone was like, he's that nigga. Don't fuck with that guy. He's unfuckwittable. Yeah, stuff like that. Next is okay, you know what? Well, that's basically it for those types of characters. The next type of character, well, did I go into the precept? But yeah, basically, it's a matter of you can be the baddest nigga around or whatever, but you still have to understand that it doesn't matter how cold you are. You need to have patience and know that it's not up to you to deliver yourself, okay? And these five characters that I respect, they're more so my desire for wanting to be able to be that nigga and be unfuckwittable / make the change, okay? Make the change that the world so desperately needs. But at the same time, more so how Asakura, which I have, there's a lot that I respect in him, but the main thing that I respect how Asakura more than all these other characters is the fact that number one, he succeeded, and number two, like, he was really just that. He was literally the strongest in his fiction, and then like no one else, literally no one else, everyone else was like, scared of him. That is something that I would love to have, like, because obviously being in this captivity, having to take shit from Esau, it just gets to you sometimes, and it's always gotten to me. But that's it for that. The next wave of characters was Vegeta. Okay, Vegeta is it's a type of change. Like, one of the reasons I love Vegeta so much right now. I didn't like him back when I was a kid, when I was first watching Dragon Ball Z, but now, being more intelligent and being able to see things more clearly, like the change that he went through, that's crazy. That's amazing. Like, to be self-serving, and being someone that was so self-serving and only cared about themselves, to someone that is, more willing to, stick his neck out for others. Okay, like when he sacrificed himself to kill Majin Buu, like that's character development. That's change. That's selfishness. That's just crazy. That's a change in a person. Okay, and that's, while I wouldn't say that I'm like that, but I have a great deal of respect for someone that could be, like, say for example, someone that was a drug dealer or a thug or gang member, and they came into this truth, because the Lord doesn't deal with those that are, what, senators, college graduates or whatever. He deals with the lowly people. Okay, and I need to find that precept. Let me see. Wise, I believe. Low. Slakia, I will. Let me find it. I really want to find it. It's. I need to get the precept out. I believe. I can't remember how it goes. Okay, here, perfect. Matthew chapter 11, verse 25. Matthew chapter 11, verse 25. At that time Yahawashi answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, O Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hath revealed them unto babes. Okay, so it's those that are like established. Okay, those are established, as in like I said, the people that have quote unquote high educations and whatnot, but it's more so those that are lesser in stature. All right. Yeah, it's the lowly people, like babes, as in like those that don't know much. Okay, because it's a lot harder to teach someone who is more established into a certain doctrine. Okay, but it's a lot easier to teach someone who doesn't know anything. All right. That's why that's why it's a lot easier to teach children rather than actual adults, unless the adult is like seeking or wanting to actually learn from something, or is lost but want to be found. All right. We're the next thing. Slovakia. I'm a little. The next character I want to bring out is okay. Perfect. Yeah, this is a good character. Byakuya Kuchiki, which I did a video on him as well. And now the reason why I like him a lot more now, I liked him back then, but I like him a lot more now. Even though he does fight, he's on the side of the Uruharas that I was speaking on. Sakya, he's on the side against Aizen. You know, he's for the he's not technically for the corruption, but he's on the side of the corruption. But the thing about him is the fact that he is so into his following his duty, okay? And that's something that I want to, you know, I really want to be. I really want to be, you know, dutiful and, you know, being a righteous servant that first and foremost wants to serve the Most High. That's what I want to be. And the fact that, you know, Byakuya, he doesn't let his own emotion, he doesn't let his own desires cloud his judgment when he goes, you know, to do the stuff. That while on top of that, he's a very cool character. You know, that's something that I wish I was. I wish I was dutied in dutied in more dutiful in doing my part and doing my work, while at the same time, you know, just a calm, cool, collected individual. Okay, because, you know, I don't even really want to blame it on the fact that it's that oppression maketh the wise man mad, but it's just the fact that, you know, me as an individual, I'm not really a calm person. So, you know, that's something that I want to work on, and I pray that, you know, I can get to that level of, you know, Byakuya Kuchiki. Okay, so a lot of the thing is, is there anyone else? I guess, you know, I can add this character as well. No. This is good. I think we're good. Oh, well, Beerus, I guess. I guess I'll just add Beerus. Basically for him, Slakia, give me one moment. Let me put this to play.
What now?
All right, so the thing is, the thing with Beerus.
It's a completely organic.
Okay, and also that's another thing that I want to mention. My inspiration to doing this video comes from my desire, or me thinking about the spiritual powers that we will get. Okay, because if you look at this, okay, look at this.
Half, my lord.
He destroyed the half of the planet, okay, with just with just tapping the thing, okay. That is crazy, okay. And honestly, I also love the design of his outfit as well. But the main thing is that's one of the inspirations I got to making this video. How I was thinking about, what's the best spiritual power? What spiritual power do I want when we're getting out of here? When YAHAWASHI has come to deliver us? What spiritual power am I gonna use against these freaking Edomites and whatnot? And you know, that really seeing that feat really just makes me like think, because Slakia, but like it's just Slakia. Just there's just so much that YAHAWASHI, for starters, was holding back a lot, because he could have sent a legion of angels to just murk all these people, all these wicked people that were crucifying him, but he didn't. Okay, and then he went and stopped a whole tempest. Okay, just by rebuking it verbally. Okay, like if he did all that, how much more will we be able to do? Okay, it's crazy. It's really crazy. All right, so another thing is Beerus. I mean, Beerus is cool. I like his character. I think it more so fits me, which is more of a. It's kind of a shame to say, because he's pretty lazy, but that's I think that's a lot of what most Jakes are. They have a job, yes, but they're pretty lazy at the same time. All right. Which again, like I said, I want to be like Byakuya. If I had the mindset of Byakuya, like, doing my work, first and foremost, that's the only thing that matters. Because Byakuya, he was ready to kill his sister that he loved very much in order to because that was a law. Okay, but like obviously, like having that entitlement to do the duty is very a thing that I want. Now, the thing I want to compare and contrast is the fact that how these characters, which I used to like, they're of the world. Okay, like I was mentioning, the world loves them. They love the world. They do stuff for the world. But a lot of these characters, they don't. They're not beloved by the world. Beerus hates the world. Byakuya Kuchiki is he's not really loved. Like, people think he's a stickler to the rule, which I want to be a stickler to the rule, and I pray that a lot. If you're in the truth, you're very much so a stickler to the laws, statutes, and commandments. Like, you don't let any. You do your best to make sure you do all of them. All right, and then Vegeta, someone that is able to make the change from someone that's self-serving into someone that's pleasing to their head. All right, if you're a woman, the head is your man, and if you're a man, the head is your Lord Yahawashi. Okay, and then Madara, what was it? Madara, how Sasuke, how they wanted to change the world. Okay, but they wanted to change the world with their power because they had the power to do so. Okay, but for one of them had the discipline to, the discipline and patience to say, okay, you know what? Let me take that back. Let me stop. Let me wait, and then let's do things the right way instead of doing things my way. Okay, my way isn't the way of the way things are supposed to be done. That's why it's called my way. Okay, it's not the way the Lord wants it to be done. All right, that's truly what and then Aizen Sephiroth. That's truly what kind of what I really get from this. I believe through the Spirit, that's kind of what draws me to liking them so much. The fact that these characters, well, primarily these three. No, my favorite of all time, Hao Asakura, has the power to change, but he doesn't. He doesn't do it. Okay, like I wish I had the power to make a change, but obviously I don't need it because I have to wait. Okay, when I get if the Lord chooses to bless me with spiritual power, then I pray that I have the patience to wait for Yahawashi to, actually deliver and, fight alongside him instead of fighting on my own, getting trying to deliver Israel. Because if say I get spiritual power, what if while I go and try to deliver us, the Lord just takes it away and then lets Esau kill me. All right, it's literally that easy. All right, I don't want that to be me, and that's why we all have to have patience and discipline, and know that it's not us that's going to deliver us. It's YAHAWASHI. Okay, through the most high Yahweh sending YAHAWASHI to deliver us. All right, and then that's just basically what my spirit is telling me, that I more so respect and more so like. That's truthfully where I get my likes. And if I were to number them by number one, how is number one? Where is it? Byakuya would be number 2, Beerus number 3, Vegeta number 4, Madara number 5, Sasuke number 6. Honestly, I would just take out Sasuke at that point because of the top 5. But yeah, How is definitely number 1, Byakuya number 2, Beerus. Well, no. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is a good listing. But yeah, that's honestly that's where my head is. Like the fact that if I look at, and also that's another thing I want to get in before I finish this video off. Why does Jake like Goku Black so much? This character reminds me of Get Out, basically, when they have Edomites taking over the bodies of Israelite men, or Israelites in general, not even Israelite men. Okay, like that's what I see when I look at him. So then, how is it that you got primarily Jakes that are just dick riding this garbage ass character? Okay, I really don't understand. He's bitch made because he freaking doesn't want to fight anyone strong that can actually beat his ass, like all the gods of destruction. He doesn't want to fight Beerus. That's basically it. Okay, but then, like, I truthfully do not understand Jake's like to this garbage abomination of a character. I really don't. Broly makes more sense. Okay, Broly, yeah, okay, good. Super Broly makes more sense because he's just basically blind, uncontrolled rage, which is really that's real. We would have real uncontrolled rage from all the stuff that we had to go through. All right, like we would just go berserk, killing Edomites if we really had all the memories from all the regeneration and remembering what they did to us. Okay, they did some really horrible stuff. All right, so Broly makes more sense, but Goku Black is just dumb. I don't, and honestly, I would love to hear why someone likes Goku Black, but outside of that, even my older brother who's not in this truth likes Goku Black. I'm gonna go ask him. Honestly, someone needs to know, and I don't care who listens that likes Goku Black. I don't like this character. This character is garbage, and I don't respect you for liking this character. That's on me. That's seriously how I feel. Okay, you need to explain why you like that garbage ass character. Okay, the reason why I like these characters, like there's something relatable in these characters. All right, that's why I like them. Okay, yeah, I don't like Saiyan Saga Vegeta, Frieza Saga Vegeta, but fucking anything. The change in Vegeta is one of the most respectable things in Dragon Ball Z. That's what makes him better in the Z Z. Buu Saga and after, Vegeta becomes a better character than Goku. Literally, no one can tell me that Goku is a better written character than Vegeta. No, hell Hell, fuck no. Okay? And now to get into these final precepts, Matthew chapter 10 from the top, and when he had called unto his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of diseases. And all manner of disease, Slakia. So the YAHAWASHI blessed or gave his disciples spiritual power. Okay? Things that miracles and things that other people couldn't do, they could do. All right? That was literally, that's one of the coldest things ever. All right? And I went in that. So yeah, that's basically it. The whole Proverbs chapter 20 verse 22, say not thou will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, he shall save thee. That's the main thing that I need to, I more so have taken that as a lesson, as a life lesson. Okay, sometimes, I can't, which like I mentioned before, I usually retaliate. I'm trying to work on that, and I'm trying to just not say anything and just take it, wait. Anytime someone tries to start something with me, I try to just take it. Obviously I fail, but I'm still learning. I'm still trying to reprove myself and repent from doing so. Okay, so that's where I got my like for these characters. Having the power to be able to fight back, yet you choose to not to. Okay, being able to make a great change. Okay, which is why he's number 4, because it doesn't fully apply to me, because I wasn't that wicked. I was wicked, yeah, because I love the world. I was when I first heard about Israelites, not even Israelites, but Jake just hating Esau, Edom. I thought, you know what, you can't spread hate and stuff like that. I literally said that. I said that. Okay, and I'm ashamed of that. Okay, and I heard that from my brother. Okay, so I think that was really the biggest thing. I wasn't really too into doing wild, crazy stuff. Thankfully, through the will and mercy of the Most High Yahweh Shai. But I can respect someone that goes through such a big change. Okay, and actually repents from doing wickedness. All right, and is a good person afterwards. Okay, and then Byakia Kuchki, my desire to want to, serve the Most High without question, without hesitation. All right, and then finally, the whole, the relatability in how Beerus does his work. He enjoys himself, but at the same time he does do his job. Okay, I think that's kind of more so that's more so what I'm leaning to. As if you look at my uploads, I do try to be. I was consistent. I was very consistent to the will and power of the Most High Yahweh Shai. But there was a few days where I just did not upload. But that I do have a kind of an excuse, but at the same time, there's no real excuse. I should have been, putting in that work. All right. So yeah, that is the whole realistic, laziness, but at the same time, still doing what you have to do. All right. And with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahawah. Double honor to the elders of the apostles of the great millstone. I hope this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to say shalom.